Okay guys, so in this task we're going to do the variadic functions. Okay, so variadic functions is just a function in which you can pass in a lot of argument to it. Okay, without we are just going to give it a particular syntax and then we can give it a lot of arguments to argue with it as a parameter. Alright, so the materials given are not that too much, so you can just add to what you know by watching YouTube videos. It might be complex at first. By the time you watch, you would get one or two things, and then practice something, and then you get one or two things as well, and you'll be good. So you want to know what VA starts, VA hard, VA end, VA list. I think there's one VA copy as well. Alright, so VA copies I think is used in C90 or C89. So which and how to use the constant type qualifier. Okay, you should know how to use the constant is just to make your anything in your variable unchangeable. Okay, you can add const to pointers as well to make it not to be able to point to another variable, or for it not to be able to be dereferenced. Okay, so you should check out how to do that. Alright, so we'll just go into the task and we're gonna break it down. So the first one is this. I've not done it, so I'll be doing it with you. Second deadline already. Alright, and as you know, we are the second deadline gang. So people, if you know you are also second deadline like me. Oh, first we need to go through the quiz. Do we have a quiz? I don't know if we have a quiz. Oh, it doesn't have a quiz. Okay, so it means it doesn't have a quiz then. Alright, so if you are part of the family, you can give this video a thumbs up. If you are the no or the late submitter gang. Alright, so let's go. So the first thing you want to do is copy your directory. We'll go to ALX load level, right? And then we'll make our directory and call this, right? And then we'll create our readme .md, right? Paste it for now. Wait. What did I just do? Hey, sorry. Undo. I've not moved into the directory. Alright. Okay. So I'll vi my readme .md. Alright. I'll paste this for now. I will say maybe variadic function types. Alright. So basically this task is, I think, kind of simple. It's as simple as ABC, so we'll just go into it. So the first thing I want to do is I'll create my header file. What is the header file name? Variadic function.h, right? So I'll copy this guy. Okay, so I'll do this, then I'll define it and say if not defined, then underscore variadic underscore function. Alright, then define variadic function. I hope I spell it right, because if I don't, I'm gonna have some errors. And then we'll end if, right? Okay, so we are good with that for now. Escape. Alright, so far we have two files now. Alright, so the next thing is we'll copy this prototype. Oh no, let's still copy the file name, zero sum. So vi, or let me just create it. So touch zero sum, right? Let me clear my screen. We list it. Okay, so I have the three files already. So I'll copy the prototype and read the question. Okay, so it says that write a function. I'm coming. Let me just copy this prototype. copy. Say write a function that returns the sum of all its parameters. That is, look at this guy. This is a variadic function. Okay, this is the prototype. It's saying that normally before would have like int I, and this is a constant unsigned integer. That is, you can't change the value of this n. Okay, so we have like int I, we can have int n and int j, which means that that function can collect two arguments. But when you have these ellipses, this is called ellipses, these three dots. Okay, when you have these three dots, they are ellipses, telling that infinity, you understand, that you can collect as many as possible. Okay, and there's a standard header file in which they use in order to solve this kind of problem. Okay, which is I think standard arg, yeah, .h. Okay, so what we do next is we're going to copy this guy. I think I've copied it, and then they said if n is equals to 0, that is, this one is just the number. It's going to collect the number of arguments here. So if you want to pass in 50 parameters, you just change this one to 50. This has to be 50. Okay, so if the number of n that is 0, it means there's nothing here, then it should just return 0. Okay, so that's basically it. And if you check the main, I think you see this one is 2, telling you that we have 2 things here. This one is 4, telling you that we have 4 here, right? And then when you do this stuff, it's going to print out the sum of all these numbers, right? So this one will be, this will cancel this, and then 98 plus 402 will give you 500, right? So I think that one will be 500, right? And then the addition of this one plus this one is 100, so 1124, right? Wait, what am I doing? Okay, sorry, this 2 is not going to be there. This is the 2 numbers, right? So this one will be, normally if this one is 100, it will be 1124 minus this 2, which is 1122. Okay, so basically that's just it. So what should I do? I've copied the header file, so I'll vi my variadic function.h, right? So I want to put my prototype. Let me just give it space. Okay, good. So I also want to use some, all those my standard IO and all those things. I can put them here instead of putting them in my, so I'll just say include stdio.h, include standard arg.h, and then I can just include which other one. Let me include my standard def.h. I think I'm okay like this. So so we have that. Okay, so good for now. So let's escape. Good. So let's go into our file, which is 0 sum, right? So vi this guy, then we'll include that our header file. What's it called? Variadic functions, right? Sorry, variadic underscore function. I think it's functions dot h. Let me just confirm. Variadic functions dot h. Yeah. So the next thing is we want to, hey, sorry, before this one, let me just paste my prototype. Let me delete this guy, go to run, enter. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is, this one is sum them all. So we are going to find the sum of the number, right? And then this one will be sum all parameter pass to the function. All right, so we are going to have at n, right, which is the number of arguments to be passed to sum. All right, and then we are going to have a return. So it's going to return sum. Okay, and I think that's all for now. And then we'll go to the end, and then we'll declare this. Then what do? We said, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, this one is a constant unsigned integer, right? So we are going to have that unsigned integer as well, so it has to meet it has to meet each other, because if we use just an int, it will tell us that the values are not equal. Compiler will have issue. Okay, so we'll use this one to save sum. Okay, and then this sum for now, because we have to return 0 at a point, so I'll give it 0. Okay, because I don't want it to have junk parameter inside. Okay, so I set it to 0. I think one of those memory allocation that does that is calloc, right? So I'll give a space as well. Okay, we have one more declaration to make, so I'll just come here, and then we have an unsigned int I. This one will go through a for loop to read all the numbers that is going to be passed to this guy. Okay, so I can give space now. All right, so the first thing is we have some macros that standard arg has, okay, in it, that we'll be using, so which is va list. Okay, and that va list will be passed a particular name, and then that name would be a name that would hold this thing temporarily. Okay, so we can just call that guy holder. Okay, so I'll call that holder. It's like a pointer to this guy. Okay, so it's a pointer to this guy. So we press enter, and what else? Okay, and then let me come down, and then I'll do my for loop. It's as simple as that. Okay, so I will just say for I equals to 0, right? I equals to 0, colon, I is less than n, because this n would have the number, right? So if it is 5 number, we just want to go from 0 to 5. We can just say we can put this on 1, I is equal to n, so we can do like that as well, and then I plus plus, right? So this one will iterate through the all these guys. Okay, and then before that, after var list, we are supposed to have var start. Okay, so after va list, we are supposed to have va start. All right, and okay, let me just come here. So we have va underscore start. So all these things are macros. Okay, so we have va start, and then we'll pass it. So va start will hold this holder, which is wants to iterate, start and iterate through this thing. So we have the holder, right, and then comma, and then the numbers of this thing. Okay, the data type. Okay, and then it is n. Okay, so that's the name of the variable. Okay, so we have va start, and then inside the function there's a guy that will be holding our arguments. Okay, so that is called va argument. Okay, va arg, that will hold our arguments. So basically, let's continue, and then we'll see what that guy does. Okay, so I said that if our n is equal to 0, okay, so remember, if our n equals to 0, it should return 0, right? So we'll do like this and say it should return 0, because it's going to be going through n. Okay, it's going to be going through, okay, so we say it should return 0, return 0. All right, else then we want to sum it up, then we'll just say sum, right, plus equals to, that is, we are saying that anything that is coming from this I should be adding up here, right? So that's what we're going to do. We'll just say va arg that holds all those numbers, right? Then we'll pass what to it? We'll pass the holder, and then we'll pass the type of data we want to print, which is a constant unsigned integer, right? So all these things are normal routine that you have to pass through. For all our tasks we'll be doing this, okay? And then we would say what else? I think that's all. So okay, then that will go, and then at the end we'll do var underscore end, okay, and then that also will be in parentheses, and that one will have that order, okay. All right, so it's a pointer to that, and then we are going to return, because we'll be using this function, so we should return sum as we said, okay. So basically all our stuffs, all our value of that argument will be passed to sum, and then they will be added together, okay. We are going to use this for loop to iterate through that thing, okay. So we're just going to have VA list. So these are the most important one: VA list, VA start, VA add, and VA end, okay, and that should help us do it. So the next thing we're going to do is your Betty this file. What is it? Betty 0, yes. So do not use assignments in if statement, line 18. So we'll go back to that place. Where is it? It should be this is the only if statement. Oh, if I equals to is not as that one is assignment, is true. So this one should be double quotes. Yeah. Okay, so let me clear and let me repeat it. So we are Betty free now. So let us create our 0 main.c, our 0 main.c, and we'll compile and test. Okay, so vi 0 main.c, and then we'll paste this guy by where's it? Okay, I think we're done. And then let me create my git ignore to ignore all my main dots, to ignore my everything that ends with main.c. Alright, so let me clear it and then compile it. So our compilation is called A. I know it's always A that they've been using since. So we can just add that to our git ignore. Hey, sorry. So add that to our git ignore, and so I don't want to pass on the executable file as well. So we'll paste this guy, and then we have some. Wow, we have so many errors. Let's see. Sign int I. Okay. So let's see. Unsigned declared first using the function unsigned in sum equals to 0. Undeclared identifier is reported only once for each function of that person. Okay, I think I didn't. Okay, let's clear it. Let's go through it one by one. vi 0. Okay, let's go. So we have this, right? Unsigned in sum, we assign 0 to it. Unsigned, this unsigned, are you sure I get it right? Oh, you sign is unsigned. Look at me, because the color is not changing. Unsigned, yeah. So let me see, VA list. Could this just be the issue? Okay, I think we got this one right. Alright, so let's go. We compile. Okay, that's the issue we have. I was scared that what's going on. And then when we run it, I think we got the right answer. Alright, so no fear to git add, git commit, and then is to sum all parameters of a function, right? So it's to sum everything up, and then we git push, right? And then we clear. So we test it. So let us test our function. So it worked, and praise God. So let's go to the next one. So this one is just a function that will print numbers and then followed by a new line. It should be simple. So what we're gonna do is we put this guy in our header file, copy. So vi function, right? Sorry, variadic function, right? And then just put this one down like this. Okay, good. So we've done that, and then what's the name of the file? The name of the file is onePrintNumber.c. So copy this. Sorry, I'll still come back and print the other one. So vi this, am I VIing right now? Okay, so let me just come back and copy that down. Alright, so the next thing is this guy, copy it. Alright, and then we paste it for now. Remove the last number. So we're going to include, right, our variadic, I think it's variadic, right? Variadic underscore functions dot h, right? Good. We got the spelling right. Okay, so we'll then print numbers, right? Print underscore numbers. Okay, and then print numbers, right? And then this one will print integers, right? And then the next thing we're going to have is @n, right? You can have @n and we'll have @separator. Okay, so this one you can have @separator. Okay, so this one is just a string to be printed between numbers, right? And then this one is the number of integers to print, right? So let me make sure there's no right. And then we have a return. No, so we don't have any return. So let me just put return void. Okay, good. So all right, so this one is going to be almost the same thing, but the thing is, why they give us two is because we know that there's going to be something to separate it. Okay, so the person will pass a separator to it, right? And then pass the number of, let's say, our main. So can you see a separator is being passed to it? I think is this two separators, and then a separator is being passed to it, and then it's telling us we want to print 4 numbers, and then we pass in the 4 numbers to it. Okay, so that's what this main will do, and then it's going to print it out for you. 0, 98 minus 104 Alright, so that's what we want to do. Okay, if the separator is null, don't print it. When n is the number of integer passed to the function, we know that this one is a string. So basically what we are concerned about is this guy majorly that will be passing to our macros in std_arg.h. Alright, so we'll give this guy space, and then we'll declare an unsigned int because that's what we're using. You can use size t and size underscore t, and then you are going to use, I think that htdef should be able to contain size underscore t anyway, unsigned integer, and then we'll call this one I to iterate through that value. Okay, and then we can have another one to hold our numbers, right? To hold us those numbers, right? So that will be all for now. So we have our va underscore list. Okay, so that one is a constant, is a macro, and then we can pass probably a pointer to it, so it's pointing to let's say n or these values, right? So we have a va underscore start, right? And then that one is a function. Okay, so we'll do pcr, right, comma, and what, n. We only need this guy and this guy from the last one, so this one is just a separator. This is what we are printing out. Okay, so we'll come down and then va start. Okay, so the next thing is we'll have our for loop like before, right? For I equals to what, 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, right? Enter. We have our okay, this, and then rrr. What do we want it to do? We want rrr to be assigned va argument, okay, function, and that should be, this one will have our ptr, which is our holder, comma, and what, our constant unsigned int, right? Constant unsigned int, right? So it's going to have this. So that's that. So at each level, our arr will be containing one number like that, right? So we want to print out what is inside arr. So we'll do printf at each instance, okay, to print what is inside. So we'll do this thing, and then we'll say percent d, because we want to print number, and then come here, comma, and then what are we printing? arr, right? So sorry. All right, so that is that. So we have one more condition to do. Okay, so we have one more condition. So we'll say that if our I is not equal to, we want to print those commas, right, that will be passed with those symbol, is not equal to n minus 1, that is, we've not gotten to the last place. Okay, so if we've not gotten to the last place, and also and if the separator okay is not equal to null. Okay, if our separator is not equal to null, then that is when you should now print string. Immediately after it has printed a number, you should come here and print the string. So we'll say printf, right? To print string is %s, and then we'll come out here, and then what's the string name? Separator, right? So we'll do that, and then at the end we should print a new line. So you can use putchar, okay, you can use printf. Okay, so let me just use printf. All right, new line, and then we'll end it va underscore end. All these things are just normal stuff for this guy, and then this guy will have our pointer, right? Okay, and then that should be all for now. So clear ls, we have our one. All right, so the next thing is let us create our one main.c. all right, got one main.c. okay, why is this guy now having our stdio? Okay, probably they believe that this variadic function will have our stdio already. All right, so vi1 main.c, we'll paste this guy there, So what is our, we'll compile. Have I betted the file? I'm not sure. So this one is called B. Let me just look at the executables. This one is called C. This one is called D. So that's that. So let me recopy this guy in case I've not copied it. Alright, so I'll go here, right? Then I will say I don't want to push B, I don't want to push C, I don't want to push D. Okay, so escape. Good. So what do we do next? We say compile. Okay, we don't have any error. Let me bet the file first. What's that file name? One print, right? Numbers. Let's see. Okay, no description found for parameter member separator. Okay, probably. And then SSC function separator description. Okay, let me go back to the file. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so probably I misspelled it, or I didn't separator. Look at me, it is sepa. Sepa. A. Okay, so let's see. Let us bet it again. So Betty say we are fine. Let us clear it. Let me recompile it. Right. So we have that, and then B, and then we have 098 minus 107 102 for this. So let's git add it. Okay, we git add, and then what? We git commit with a message saying that this one should print integers passed to a function with a separator. Okay, so we git push. Alright, so I think that is that. Let me get that spelling right. Alright, good, and let us check. So the next one would be, I think we have two more, so I just pray this one checks, and then we'll go to the next one. Okay, good. So the next one, let's go. So this one is a function that will print string, not numbers now. It's printing strings, okay, followed by a new line. And as you can see, we have J, and then I think this one too has a separator, right? Does it? Okay, it has a separator, right? And then it has the unsigned int. Okay, so it's gonna be easy. So I think what I should first do first is to create this file, touch. Alright, and then I would create my 2main.c. I think we stopped here. Copy vi2main.c. Paste this guy here to test it when we are done, and then okay, the next thing is I'll copy this guy, the prototype, paste it, and then I'll go to the function. I'll read this guy, and then we'll go and code. So vi variadic function.h, right? Let me go. Okay, so good. So back to this guy. Good, and this. Alright, so we include our what? Our main our variadic underscore, right? Variadic underscore functions dot h, right? And then we'll comment. Okay, you comment and say this one should be print underscore string. Okay, so this one will print strings passed function. Okay, as parameter. Alright, so the next thing is we're going to have separator, definitely. Separator. So this one is going to be the separator between two strings. And then we'll have at what's it called, n, right? So it's the number of strings to print. Okay, and then no return. So this time around I'm not giving you anything. Alright, so to the end. Alright, so basically let's go through the question. So basically let's just declare all the things that we'll declare. Unsigned int I to iterate through. Okay, because we'll be printing some strings, so we'll declare a character pointer string, right? So we'll have our va underscore list, right? So this one is the pointer to the string. So let me just say ptr str, pointer to the string. Okay, so we'll have our va start, and then va start will hold two arguments, right? So va start will hold our pointer to string, right, comma, and what, our n, right? Good. So the next thing is we'll have this, a for loop, right? So we'll have a for loop, and then we'll say for I equals to 0, right? I is less than n, I plus plus, right? And then we'll have our block, right? So we'll have some conditions here, and then we'll still go through the questions one more time. But before that, remember we have va arg and then we have va end, right? So anything that is coming, we are passing it to the string, right? So our string would then equals to va arg, right? And then this one will have, this time around it will have our ptr str, right, comma. So it's supposed to have our constant unsigned int, okay, but this time around we are going to pass in our this guy, our character pointer to it, telling it that we want to print a string. Okay, so I think that's that. So we'll say if, so these ones have been given to us, if string is equal to, don't let me miss that equal to, because last time I used one single assignment operator. So if it is equal to null, that is if our string does not contain anything. Okay, so it is there that we should print f, we should print new. So print new like this. Okay, else we should print what, the string. So else we'll print the string present s. So the string is str, right? The str. Okay, so str here. So str. So we'll give it here. Let me see. Yeah, it's str. Okay. So what else? And then we say if okay, and then at the end we'll print a new line. So I'll come back to the condition. I'm going to read what we have there and then we'll come back to condition. So at the end we'll have a new line, and also VA end, we're passing what? The PTR STR. So far what changed was the what we passed to the VA argument. Okay, so that's what changed for now, right? What we passed to that guy, and it's because we have this guy declared here, right? So we are passing that pointer to this guy. Alright, so that's what changed so far, and then we have this condition left to figure out what we're gonna do. Okay, so this one is for the separator, definitely. So we'll say if I, okay, is not equal to n minus 1. Okay, so I can put that also in brackets, n minus 1, sorry, and what's that? Separator is not equal to null, right? So if you are not in the last place, and then it should print separator, print f, right? And then this, and then percent s, right, comma, and then separator. Okay, so far what we did is, we said the separator, this is the separator of the string, n is the number of string, you are allowed to use printf. If separator is not, don't print it. If one of the string is not print nil. That's what we did there. Okay, so where is it? Yeah, if the string is not, print nil. Okay, so if this one is not, don't print it. Will not print separator. All right, and then if, okay, print a nina at the end of the function, and that's it. So we'll do this. We'll Betty to print. Okay, so we have trailing white space at 16. So we'll go back there and then set number. We'll set number to easily locate 16. Okay, so you can also set list. Alright, so 16, where is it? Doesn't seem to have anything. Am I doing that? Is it set no list? I can't remember. Set no list. Okay. Insert. Okay, I think I've removed it. Alright. Betty. Okay, so we are good. So let's compile and let's test. So we'll copy this guy and then we paste it here. So we have some, okay, this one we use prints instead of printf. So we'll go back there. So where is it? The last one. So let's clear it. We compile. So it's C. Alright, J the Django. So I'll git add, I'll git commit, and I'll say you should print string git push. Alright, so clear it, we check our stuff. Trying to be fast. I hope this one works. Okay, good. So we are in the last one. Great. So this one is going to print anything. So it's going to have we are going to give pass a format to it, whereby C, like printf, where we'll do percent %C, and then it's going to print this guy percent %I, it's going to print character percent %F, we print float, S print this guy, percent %D will print integer, but for this one I is integer, like that. So we should do a function that does this with this. Okay, so the next thing is so any other char should be ignored. Okay, if the string is null for char, print nil instead. Okay, so we are going to have a if statement here, so we cannot have more than 2 if, we cannot have more than 2 while loop. Okay, you are not allowed to use for, go to, else, do while loop. Okay, so you know that if you don't use while, you can go and use do while loop. Okay, so that's what I said. So you can declare a maximum of 9 variables. You are allowed to use printf, print a new line at the end of the function. Okay, so what I'll do first is I'll copy this guy, and if you look at the compilation, do we have that? No. Okay, good. I thought we were using putchar to print anything. Alright, so good. So what we do next is we paste, so let me create that file first. Alright, so I've created the file 3main.c. let me paste this guy to test it. 3main.c, right? Okay, so our ignore has taken care of all the ones we are not pushing, and then we'll have the prototype, and then we'll be using these formats as well in our cases. So what we'll be doing is we'll be using the switch cases. Okay, so vi variadic function.h, and then so we'll be using our switch. Alright, so escape q, good. So clear ls. So vi our 3 prints, right? Let me paste this guy first. Oh, it came with an email. Okay, so include, right? We're going to include our variadic underscore function. Hey, it's in capital letter. I wasn't looking at my screen. Okay, so I think when I wanted to press that shift, I pressed caps lock. So variadic functions right? So document. So this one is print all, print underscore all, right? So this one would print any arguments, provided. To function. So the next thing is we are going to have a constant char pointer, constant format. So we'll just do formats, right? At formats, the argument specifier, right? And then do we have a return? Return, you can just say return any, right, arguments given based on specified formats. All right, good. So back to coding now. So we'll be using switch cases. So the first thing I will do is since we don't have we have only constant format, I think when we use constant alone, it means it is just a normal um, signed integer, right? For this guy, constant format, something like that. So we'll say int I, okay, comma, and then we can have one to check our status, okay, another integer to check our status, okay, so call that check stat. And then we'll declare some variables. I'll call it char. This one to print string, because string we have to declare for it. Remember the last one we did. So char str for string, okay, and then we're good to go. So we'll have our VA list, right? So our VA list, we'll call it something. So let's call it SPC, okay, all right. Okay, so the next thing is VA start, right? And that's like a function. Then open and close, right? So VA start. So VA start will collect SPC, right? And then to collect the name of that constant, which is format, right? So go. So remember, we cannot use for loop. So now we'll be using a while loop. And to use a while loop, you have to initialize your I equals to 0 outside. And then you see your while, right? You put your statement, and then you put your incrementation down, right? So this one will be I plus plus. So what is your statement? As long as I is what? As long as I is or let's just say for this one we'll say format, as long as format is not equal to, because this format we're using is not equal to null, and our format at index I is not equal to null as well. So this one is when it has not gotten to the last part, and when the value inside is not null. My light is gone, but I think I'm almost done, so I'm not panicking for now. So I think we are good. So we use the switch statement, okay? So we use switch. All right, so we switch will go this way, switch, and then we'll have cases inside this block of code. All right, so switch, so it's going to be switching what is inside this particular array. So format I will go through everything inside I, right? So remember, we have a format specifier, okay? So we'll say case I, in case that our I think we should have changed that I or somehow, but I think it should still work, okay? In case it is I, because I is to print integer, right? So we have double colon case I, okay? When it is I, we should print, okay, we should print integer, print present d, okay, and then we'll pass in va arg, and then what? Hey, sorry, this guy will be outside. Va underscore arg, right? And then we should print spc comma, what's that guy? Int. I said that one, that constant int is also an int, right? It's just a normal int. Okay, so what else? I think you can add const here alone. I think that might work as well. So you can try that. Let me know if it works. What else? Then our check start. Are we initialized it to 0? No. So after that, we use our check underscore start, assigning it 0. Okay, so we go for the second case. Okay, and then for after each case you break. Okay, so this is it. So we have our case, second case, it is F, right? It's double colon, and then we'll print F. I don't want to copy because you might have those white spaces and all those rubbish. So I'll just do present F, right? Present F, comma, and then this one will still be our VA underscore arg SPC, comma, int, right? Just pass this guy to it, and then we'll break, we'll check, we'll say check stats should be 0 because we want to use this check stats at a point. Okay, and then we'll break as well. So in case it is what's the next one, C. Okay, we have C as well. C and S would be the same family. Okay, so C, in case it's C, it should print F, right? Print F, and it's going to be percent C as well. Comma, and then it's going to be VA arg, right? VA arg SPC underscore SPC sorry, comma, int. Okay, int. Okay, and then we'll check stats. Check stats. We give it 0. We break. So the last case, in case whatever is inside is S, a string now, that is when we use that our stuff that we created, right? So we then say that our str, we say our str equals to VA underscore arg, passing the value of SPC and int, right? Oh no, it's not going to be int, it's going to be char star, right? Pointer to character. Okay, so this one has some issues. We have some if statements. So we'll say if our str is equal to null, right? If our string is equal to null, right, you should our str should contain the value nil. Should contain nil. Right, and then you should print it. Print F. I think we can just remove. Yeah, we should print F, and then we'll say present S, comma, str. So it's going to print out that name. Okay, and then it should break. All right. So any one of it, this guy will print this str, but if it is null, it's going to print this str, right? So break, and then we'll have a default. We are using switch cases. We have a default case. Okay, so that is where we use our check stats, and then that default will give it 1. Okay, so we'll give it 1, and then we'll break as well. Okay, and that will be all for switch cases. So and that's all for this guy. So still in this, we'll do our if statements. Okay, I think it has a format specifier, right? So say format, okay, format I. This one will check the next character after the first character. Okay, so this one, when that next character, let me see, format, so this one should still be, let me remove the empty space. When that next character inside the format, okay, when it is not equal to null, okay, when it is not equal to null, and our check start is not equal to, is equal to 0, okay, and our check start, so this is where we use the check start, our check start is equal to 0, okay, it should print. So this one, what is telling it, you should print, I think, comma and a space, and then at the end it should print a new line, and then we are going to do our var end. And what's that name? I think SPC. Okay, so this place is just going to check the next one ahead. So if the next one is not, when it is 1, it means it doesn't meet a format, right? So it's not going to print comma and space. And then when the next one is not null, that is there's something inside, then it's going to print comma and space. So it's going to check these two arguments, and then that's how it's going to go. So let me just go up, and that's it. So let's test it. So Betty 3 print. Okay, good. Let's clear it and let us compile and check. So compile, I think, okay, yeah. So you are supposed to have B3STC like that. So I hope our compilation doesn't have error. So this one is %D, let me see. You say we are supposed to use %D. This one is photography. Are we going to typecast here? What should we do? Okay, I know what to do. We're going to typecast. Where is it? Where is that? So the case for this guy, instead of saying it should only print int, so this guy should be double. Alright, let's recompile again. Let me see that %C. If B3ST square. Okay, I think we are good. Okay, so we'll git add, git commit, and then we'll say print anything. And then git push. Alright, so we'll check it, check the code, if it is good. Oh, we have some errors. We have some, just one error. Good. All right, let's see what's going on. Could it be that one that I said? ls. Could it be that one? Let's see. Let me Betty it again. Betty 3 print all. Okay, Betty is good. So vi 3 print all. Okay, let us check again. So we said this guy format, yes, int I, check start, va list spc, va start spc format, I equals to 0, while format is not equal to null, and format I is not equal to this, and then this guy switch I %d, var spc int, check start 0, break, case f, print f, %f, spc double, 0, break, case c, %c, spc, should this be char? Should this be char? Let me see. Let's change this to char and see. Alright, so let me see. spcs va arg spc char star is not equal to null, str equals to nil, right? Print f %s str break default, check start equals to 1, break, if format I plus 1 is not equal to null and check start is equal to 0, print comma space I plus plus, print f new line, and then var end spc. Okay, let's try this one now and see. Let me recompile. Oh, we cannot have it as char. It's promoted to int when past this. Okay, so they promote it to int, so we are right. So it's promoted to int. Okay. No, char is a type of int as well. So it's being promoted to int. So this is not the problem. So where could the problem be from? And compilation is working like this. This is what I hate about this. This rubbish. Let's try again. No, it can't work. Let me get hard again. Git commit. Okay, so nothing actually changed. That's why it's bringing out this file for me. Everything's up to date. Alright, so what should we do? 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 Oh, this thing wanna waste my time. Damn. This thing wanna waste my time. Wanna waste my time. What could this issue be? Let's see, do we have any clue? Nope. Number 8. Did we miss one step? So this one is char star. What could the issue be? Okay, let me see one more time. One more time. Did I paste the other, what's it called? Let me see the other file. Variadic function.h. So I have my stdi, stdarg, stdef. Okay. And then I have all these guys there. Okay, so what else? So it's just this code. I think it's just the code. So I think it's just the code. Oof, what could be the issue? It could be just one issue. Probably I'm just going to pause the video and save, just not to waste our time. But you might do it and make no mistake anyway. That's the funny thing about these things. Let me make sure. Is it command space? Yes, definitely command space. Alright. Command space. Yeah, definitely that. I don't know what's wrong right now. Just okay, so I'll just come. Okay, guys. So I don't know. I just redid it and I added some comments to it, and then it worked. So here is the code VI3, and then I'll go through it. 3 prints, right? So it's still the same thing. Oh, so it's not working. Okay, so I don't know what I missed. So this one, I just added some comments to it. So we have our int I char pointer va list spc, right? Va start spc and format I equals to 0, our while loop, and then this. So we have switch cases from I print d int, right? And then we have for f print f double, and then we have for c print f int. Okay, and then we have for s, which is char, right? And then we say that str is not equal to new print beside this, and then check start 0, right? And then break, and then we have our default check start equals 1 break, and then if our format I plus 1 is not equal to null and check start is equal to 0, it should was print this and space I plus plus print new line va end space. Just the same thing though. I don't know, and it accepted this one. So we did our git add git commit. See, there's nothing to commit. Update, right? There's nothing to commit, no changes. Git push. All right, everything is up to date. We clear it. So I will just recheck it for you so you confirm that it works. So and after that, that will be all, and then we'll see you in printf. Good.